want to do a little recap of post-webinar calls that you guys scheduled, some stuff that we talked about, some really good topics that came up. And I want to start with a call that I had last night with a new grad PT, less than a year, and a current massage therapist with several years. And the thing that came up with them, even though they're not doing the same thing, we have a massage therapist who's trying to get out of the conventional massage model, trying to do more what she calls body work, and trying to, what she got out of the webinar is trying to figure out how to fit function into massage, how to do a functional screen instead of just have people lay on the table and say, massage me, find the tight spots. Fantastic idea. And how she could also start using implementation of exercise. So that's what she wanted to talk about. Now the new grad he's already started to migrate away from the conventional medical model. And he said now mostly what he does is exercise. I said, fantastic, but hopefully what you took home from the webinar is that, and from everything that I post, is that you cannot correct dysfunction and you cannot get to the root cause of dysfunction by giving people exercise. If you give people eccentric and concentric exercise when they have inhibition, you will make them worse, because all they're going to do is figure out a different way to compensate, because you cannot reverse inhibition with exercise. Now, you can try to reestablish facilitation with isometrics, but those are extremely specific. And you have to do them for a specific amount of time, a specific amount of frequency. They're hard to do for patients on their own, especially when they've never had things refacilitated. So isometrics for the conventional PT are probably not going to work either. So what I told both of them, and obviously the massage therapist is off on her own, owns her own business, and the other physical therapist is thinking about getting together with some buddies from PT school and opening their own clinic. So I said, well, here's what you both need to realize, and hopefully what you're getting out of my content and what you got out of last night is, if you don't diversify, you will lose. So remember when nobody did dry needling, and then all of a sudden people started to do dry needling and patients started to ask for it. And physicians that don't understand anything started to refer people for dry needling. And then everybody, so that like in your area, one PT offered dry needling. Then other people started to talk about it. Then the next PT offered it. Then the other one. Now everybody is dry needling certified. Same thing that happened with cupping. People saw Michael Phelps with hickeys on his back at the Olympics, and they're like, oh, well, this is this Eastern medicine thing that pulls the blood and increases circulation, and nocebo, false narrative lie after everyone. So what you saw then was the same thing that happened with dry needling. First, there was one clinic that had cupping, then another clinic had cupping. Now everybody has cupping. Everybody's cupping certified. So what people were trying to do is they were trying to diversify. The problem is they diversified with a gimmick that has no medical background that everybody and their brother can do. Now you can go on Amazon and buy your own home cupping and home dry needling kit. So people don't even need physical therapists anymore if they want that. So they diversified with something that was garbage. Everybody else did the same thing because it was really easy to do and people were already falling for it. So you have all of your marketing gimmicks. And then everybody got it, and now everybody's going to wait for the next big gimmick to come out, and everybody's going to get certified in that. I forgot to mention K-tape. Same crap, okay? So what you need to do is diversify your skill set with something that's legitimate. That is hard to do. So it's not easy to learn 180. So if you talk to anybody who's been through the shift, has been doing 180 for a year, they will tell you, I'm good at it, but I don't have it mastered. So not everybody is going to run out there and do 180. Number one, it's difficult to do. You have to change your whole thought process and skill set. Number two, you would have to admit, if you've been doing PT, chiropractic, whatever for 15 years, that what you did for 15 years was wrong. So people don't like to do that. So when you diversify, becoming a 180 practitioner, you have a skill set that nobody else has. You get results that nobody else gets, and your patients understand that, and your patients go out and do your marketing for you. So what I told this massage therapist and this PT is that if you guys had 180, now massage therapist, you know how to do functional screen. You can still call yourself a massage therapist, but you're doing something different than every other massage therapist is doing. And she said, well, I get a lot of business from word of mouth now. And I said, that's fantastic. But you get word of mouth from people that want massage. Once you start doing 180, you're going to get word of mouth from people that want to get better, that want to prevent injury. So you're going to get athletes before they get hurt. They want to come see you. You're going to get people that are post-op that went to physical therapy and didn't reach their goals. They already know that physical therapy works. You can offer them something different than what physical therapy does that gets them results. You're going to get those people. So she also so I said, well, how many clients do you see on an average day? And she said, well, 3 or 4, and I see them for an hour. And I said, well, how much do you charge them? And she said something like $80, $85, $90, something like that. I said, okay, so realize this. You're getting 3 to 4 patients a day from word of mouth. Once you start doing 180, you're going to get 14 to 16 patients a day. You're going to go from an hour to a half hour. You're going to charge, instead of $90 for a half hour, you're going to charge $90 for an hour. You're going to charge $90 for a half hour. So you just doubled your income hourly. You tripled your income number of patients per day. That is so you're going to be making money off of what you just invested in with the shift. So your business is going to explode. You're going to get a heck of a lot more done. You're going to be more satisfied. You're going to help more people. And after you see people for a half an hour for $90, you're soon going to ramp that up to $120 for a half an hour, which means you're going to be making almost $250 an hour and be busy all day. Okay. So for the PT that wants to go cash pay, same thing. You're going to charge people what they would pay for an hour. For a half an hour, they're going to say, thank you for not wasting an hour of my time, because I just got better with you for a half an hour, where I was paying this other goofball the same amount. He wasted an hour of my time and I didn't get any better because he's doing the same thing that the other physical therapists are doing. So this is why cash pay PT 99% of the time fails. You take a disgruntled physical therapist, take him out of the broken cash or insurance-based model, put him into a cash pay model, but he didn't diversify. He's still doing corrective exercise, stretching, massage, cupping, needling, tape, all that crap. Now he's charging people $250 or $200 for an hour to do the same crap, get the same crappy results. So that's why cash pay PTs say, I had a fantastic month. I made $15,000 this month. Well, that's because they sold a bunch of packages to people that don't know what they're paying for. After people get done with that package, they're going to scratch their head and say, oh, that's the same thing that I paid for with my $30 copay down the street, and I got the same crappy results because I'm still not any better after I paid this guy to charge me $200 for this package that didn't do anything. So they don't come back. So that's why you don't hear cash pay PT saying, I make $20,000 a month every single month, unless they're a 180 practitioner. Okay? So if you're not diversifying and you want to go off on your own, you will lose. Okay? You will lose by either going out of business in the first year, or you will lose because you'll have to work a side job like a cash pay PT and then do your cash pay on, you'll do a home health PT and then you do your cash pay on the side. Well, your cash pay PT is losing you money because you're investing all this time and energy into people that come in and figure out that you didn't diversify. They're not getting results. So you have to keep on working your home health job, which you hate, but that's what's actually paying the bills. So you lose. Okay? If you want to win and you want to get results, give your patients what they deserve, and get your career to where you want to go, the key is diversification. So this massage therapist is going to start doing functional screens before people get on the table, which will make them go, That's different than any massage therapist I've ever had before. She's going to incorporate exercise that relate directly to what she just treated on the table. She's also going to tell them while she's treating them, I'm not rubbing out your tight spots. I'm actually making you stronger by hitting these points. So boom, she just diversified. Her patients get off the table and go, I've never had a massage like that. That's better than any physical therapist that I've had. I'm coming to you from now on, and I'm sending my family, my teammates, my coworkers. So now she has real world word of mouth to a huge population of people. She's charging double what she was charging before. She's seeing 3 to 4 times as many patients, and she's doing nothing marketing wise. That is a sustainable business. That is a sustainable career that pays you what you're worth. Now, the other PT, when he goes off on his own, he'll be able to say, I'm a 180 practitioner. My friends and I opened this clinic because we know the medical model broke. So we all became 180 practitioners, and now their business will go through the roof just like hers. And everybody that's failing chiropractic, massage, and physical therapy in their area will figure out these guys are doing something different and they're getting results. So I will pay you whatever you want to charge me. So hopefully that makes sense. That kind of relates to what we talked to on the webinar. If you have questions, post them below, and I will see you guys. So this week I'm going to be doing basically wrap up from the webinar topics that came up because you guys brought up so much good stuff on our small group phone calls. So great job of taking advantage of those phone calls. Those people now have more to back them up and to help them start applying what we talked about in the webinar. I'll see you guys later.